Can't find it. Okay, so we're in our comfortable seat. Find your nice tall spine. Once you have yourself feeling comfortable and you just kind of want to check that it feels like you're fairly well grounded through both of the sit bones, that you feel a line coming up, extending through the crown of the head, in however it is that you are sitting. Let your hands rest comfortably. If you are comfortable doing so, close your eyes. If that's not quite comfortable, just find a soft gazing spot that you can look at in front of you. Take a couple breaths to arrive here in your body on this wonderful Monday morning. Allow your awareness to just simply scan through your body, noticing how everything feels, making any slight adjustments as you need to find that feeling of length and groundedness. No matter where you're at, imagine that the energy of your body through the bottom of your body is connecting down and into the earth. Feel and appreciate Mother Earth and her solidity underneath us. I know Earth Day is this week, but Earth Day is every day. Now imagine from the earth that there's a column of a soft red light that's coming from the earth up, and it comes in to the bottom of your body, to your pelvic floor. And just breathe this connection in. At the level kind of between where your navel is, just down, maybe if you were like about the level of 4 fingers. Back behind that place, in front of your spine, is another red light that column from the earth is connecting with. If you've ever done any Tai Chi or Qigong, you may have heard of your Dantian energy center. Or if you've done some other yogic pursuits, it might be called Kanda. But just feel this place. And even if you can't feel it, just imagine it's there. A soft red light there behind your skin, just below the navel, in front of the spine. And this beam of red light coming up from the earth and joining to that. Imagining on your inhale, you're drawing it from the earth up to the spot. And from the exhale, you're drawing your light down and into the earth to join with Mother Earth. Connecting and rooting yourself down through this center. Now, whether you're feeling the solidity of this connection or you're just imagining it, continue to breathe and continue to connect with that red column of light. But you may also sense that the strength of that and the stability of that in the lower part of your body is helping your spine to just find its perfect alignment. And that feeling of perfect alignment connects, especially around your heart, especially up in the middle of the brain, and even extending up above your head. For 3 more breaths. Inhale, drawing this red energy from the earth up to just below the navel center in front of the spine. Exhale, releasing it, joining with Mother Earth, giving back that which you don't need. Let this help to fill you, to help you to feel the vibrancy of your breath, setting aside the things that you don't need to worry or think about right now. And after your 3rd exhale, now just find for a moment, what is it that is your intention for your practice today? To whom or what do you wish to dedicate your practice this morning? Then as you're ready and you have those seeds, you're ready to plant them in your heart, bring your hands together in front of your heart. We're going to chant Om once together to open the practice, again in the Uchara manner, which means we're going to resonate an Ah, low in the body, maybe about where we had that red light. The U is going to come up into the heart. And then the nasal sound is going to happen back here, center of the brain, those nasal passages, and then the silence will rise up afterwards. Exhaling together and inhaling. May we practice together in vibrancy and joy. Namaste. All right. So if you're sitting cross-legged, or if you're in a position you want to switch, go ahead and switch the cross of your legs, putting the other one on front or on top. We're switching your sitting position. Once again, after you switch, finding that nice tall spine, that feeling of length there. And we're going to do, again, Kapalabhati breathing. So some of you have done this with me before. This is a forceful exhale through the nose. So you may want to have a tissue handy in case you feel like you need that. So as opposed to Bastriki, we've done Bastriki a couple times. This one still comes from down here, but it's simply a forceful exhale. The inhale will take care of itself in between. So it might feel something like this. So kind of around that area that we were working with the red light is where you want to feel like you're really just using your abdominal muscles to help draw that breath out through the nose. Then you just inhale naturally through the nose. Don't worry about the inhales. They'll take care of themselves. I like to do this with an arm motion as well. So if you want to do this, coming with me, have your thumbs extended like a little antenna. And then on your inhale, bring your arms up. And we're going to begin Kapalabhati. Now take a big inhale. Hold it in, hook the thumbs, lift your pelvic floor, draw your chin in and down, and just hold your breath in as long as it feels comfortable. Observe how it feels in the center part of your body to do so. When you need to exhale, you'll just simply release your thumbs and your arms will come down, release your pelvic floor, let that relax, release your chin and let that relax. But do stay for the point that it's comfortable too. As we come down, we hold space and let everyone finish, and just observe how it feels in the center part of your body or how it feels up in your head. Just notice any shifts or changes. And we'll do 3 rounds in total. We'll begin and enter our second round. So use your inhale to lift your arms and your thumbs up and begin. Forcefully exhaling out through the nose, your inhale taking care of itself. Now take a nice big inhale. Lightly lift pelvic floor, chin in and down, holding the thumbs together. Observe. This is a retention, so simply holding as long as is comfortable for you. Whenever you need to exhale, unhook your thumbs, soften the chin, soften the pelvic floor, and let the arms float back and down. And again, simply observe. Kapalabhati is a great practice to do in the morning time. Literally translates as skull shining breath. So hopefully your skulls are shining. We're going to do one more round. Inhaling the arms up. Take that big inhale. Lightly lift pelvic floor, chin in and down, hooking the thumbs together. Hold and observe. Releasing and bringing the arms down whenever it is that you're ready. Observing again. Whenever you finish with your observation, gently you can flutter your eyes open if you still have them closed. And we're just simply going to extend the legs out for a moment. Go ahead and lean back, stretch out your legs. You can stay sitting on a support if you want to. Just kind of wiggle the legs a little bit, move them a little bit. What we're going to do is we're going to enter into a couple things. We're going to still stay sitting here for just a couple more things. So if sitting with your legs out straight is comfortable, go ahead and stay sitting in this. This is sometimes called Dandasana or staff pose. You don't have to sit like this though. If you're more comfortable still sitting and recrossing your legs, go ahead and feel free to do that. What I want you to do is I want you to find that your two sit bones, the bones at the base of your pelvis, are still feeling fairly well balanced. And inhale, bring those arms up. Now, just for a moment here, remember that red light in that column from the beginning of the class. I want you to reach down from that red center and try to connect with the earth again, and then allow that to lift up, maybe even extend up through your arms. Now, find as though you're feeling that light extending out through your heels as well here. Inhale, keep that length. On the exhale, just a light twist to the right. You can stay here if you want. You can inhale back to center. And exhale to the left. Again, either staying here or just moving dynamically with your breath from side to side. Maybe 2 more times to each side if you're moving, or holding it on each side for about 3 to 5 breaths. Keep trying to keep yourself balanced between those 2 sides of your pelvis, and also stay connected with that column of energy. 1 more, and then as we come back to center, go ahead and release your arms on down. Relax your legs for a moment, wiggle, and do a couple nice big shoulder circles. All right, again, you can stay with sitting with the legs out in front here. We're going to do a nice big opening of the arms and really feel your shoulder blades trying to close towards each other as you bring your arms back. Now we're going to give yourself a nice big hug, cross one arm over the other. As you do this, again, ground down through that red light, but lift up through the crown of the head. Draw your chin lightly in and down. As you give yourself this nice hug, you can always move a little side to side. Feel the back of your neck lengthening. Good. Inhale, come on up. Again, you're going to open the arms and really squeeze your shoulder blades together back there. And you're going to give yourself another hug, the other arm on top this time. And the same thing, as you do this, try to lift up through the crown of your head. Draw your chin lightly in and then down if that's comfortable. And just breathe into this for a moment. Breathe as if you're opening the back of your heart between your shoulder blades here. Feel yourself connecting with that column of light that was coming up from that red light at the base of your spine. And exhale. Inhale. Open back up, relax the chin, squeeze those shoulder blades together again, and then relax your arms down. Good. If you happen to have either a sash or a resistance band or something like that, you can sometimes even do this with a broom. I'm going to switch my legs back to cross-legged. All we're going to do here now is we're just going to take, and we call this shoulder flossing. You're going to take and lift the arms up and then back and down behind you. If you don't have anything to hold in between your hands, you can always do this just with your arms. And just do this with your pace of breath. I usually like to inhale to come up and exhale to go back and down, but you can reverse that. You're not going to hurt anything if you were to exhale up and inhale down. You can always play with that. Just do this a few more times. If this is feeling really comfy and you want a little bit more challenge for your shoulders, bring your hands a little bit closer in towards each other. But if that doesn't feel comfortable, don't do it. Remember, all of this should not create any feeling of pain or discomfort in your body. Please be mindful of that. I can't see you with these small little pictures. All right. Now that you've done that a couple times, just go ahead and set your strap or that off to the side and just feel this nice warmth that you've gotten in your shoulders. For those of you that are doing a lot of work these days on computer, that's a great work break thing to do, is just to have something like that and about once an hour do something for your poor little shoulders. All right, now we're going to go ahead and I want you to come up onto knees. So if you want a little extra padding, if you're not on carpeting, we're here on cement, even though we've got a couple mats, so I'm going to put a blanket underneath my knees. All right, now with this, what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of things, and during the flow of the class, we're going to be doing clasping the hands back behind you. So right here, just take your arms out to the side. And what you're going to notice when you take your hands back behind is you naturally turn your arms inward. You do a nice little internal rotation. Just practice that for a moment, internal and external. Palms facing up is usually external. Palms facing back or even back up toward the ceiling is internal. If either one of these does not feel comfortable on one of your shoulders for whatever reason, don't go that far, all right? So we're gonna start to now reach the hands back behind you. I'm gonna show you from the side. So even just doing this, even if it's tough for you to clasp your hands together, is great. You can just stay like this. Those of you that can, go ahead and clasp your hands together. Take a couple breaths here. Now what you should be experiencing is you're gonna feel this broadening across the collarbones, like you're really opening across here. See if you can just squeeze the shoulder blades a little bit more. Now notice if you have a tendency, again I'm going to go show you from the side, if your tendency is to really lift way up with your rib cage when you do this, try to think about that place, that khanda or dantian, and your lower ribs, and try to keep them connected instead of allowing this to open way up. You may not go as far back with your arms, so you may need to come a little bit closer. That's okay. The other tendency is sometimes to really lift up through the chin. Draw the chin lightly in, and remember that length in the back of the neck as well. One more breath here. Exhale and release the arms. And again, just a little wiggle, wiggle. If it feels like you want to, you may actually want to make some shoulder circles forward. All right. Our tendency in our lives is to reach forward for things. It's much easier for us to reach and see things forward. We don't spend a lot of time during our day reaching back for stuff. So a lot of this class, when we do stuff like this, just notice how long it feels comfortable for you to do that, and don't stay any longer than it is comfortable. All right, now we're going to come on to our hands and knees. We're going to do a couple cat-cows. You guys know this one, most of you I would imagine. So come on to your hands and knees. And all I want you to do is I want you to just find some freedom in your spine right now. Just moving with your breath. I like to draw my navel up towards my spine, draw my top of my head and my tail down on my exhale. And then on the inhale, kind of lift up through my tail, lift through the chest. Watch your inhale and just make sure that you're not just lifting from the chin. So as Elodie does this, I'm going to put my finger on top of her head. I'm going to remind her to keep that long line of her spine as she comes up, and maybe move your eyes, and eventually your chin might lift. But it should come from the whole spine lifting up like that, not just the chin lifting and a crunch in the back of the neck. One or two more times. A couple nice cat-cows here. Good. And then from here, go ahead and come up again onto your knees. Just take and make your wrist motions here. Again, remembering that you don't always have to be on your palms like this on the ground. If you want to, if your wrists bother you from doing that, you can always make your hands into fists and use your hands like fists as we're down here. We're going to do one more thing here on the ground on our hands and knees. So Elodie, I'm going to have you turn to the side. All right, go ahead and come back onto hands and knees. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a little work with our gluteals. So I'm going to have Elodie, she's starting here in this position. She's just simply going to lift this leg up, keep the knee bent. That's it. So lift up as if you're going to try to step your foot onto the ceiling. That's it. And now all you're going to do here is you're just going to pulse this leg up and down. All right? And what this should create is a nice activation in our gluteals. Elodie says. So go ahead and start that. What you want to do is you want to find that place maybe somewhere between 5 to 10 times. That starts to feel like that muscle's really been working. And then once you've gotten that place, maybe do 1 or 2 more. And then bring that leg down. And you're going to switch to the other side. All right. So some nice little gluteal work here. Keep our tushies looking good. One of the things with sitting a lot that we may be doing at home or spending more time watching television or on our computer is that back side of our body kind of falls asleep. So as much as we're going to be working our upper body and doing some things to counter that, the lower body needs the same love and affection as well. All right, so once you have done those, all we're going to do is we're going to then do a little crawl. So I'm going to move my blanket out of the way. Now, with this, you guys who have been following along and doing some of these classes, the first bus stop, or one of the first ways you can do this, is just simply, and this is activating the abdominals, you have to keep some lift in the abdominals to do this, is you simply lift one knee and one opposite arm, and you try to crawl forward and back, setting them down at the same time. So everyone just try that from the back of your mat. Just crawl one time, up. Once you get your hands off the front of your mat, it's then time to start going backwards and trying to coordinate backwards as well. If you've been playing along with these classes, this may actually be starting to feel easier. Oh, piece of cake. All right. Once you get to the very back of your mat, what I want you to do is I want to give you two options. In this first option is it's going to work a little bit more on the muscles on the inner and outer hips. So with this, what you would do is you're going to take and bring your left leg kind of into the center of your mat, and you'll lift up the right as if you're coming towards your right elbow, then try to bring that foot in front of that other leg and set that knee right in front of the other one. And then start crawling forward like that. And it's hard for me to coordinate my hands with that. Now that's option number one. Option number two is a lot more intense for the abdominals, and that is curling your toes under, hovering your knees just a little bit off your mat, and then trying that coordinating, crawling forward, legs and arms with the knee up. So option one is working more with muscles inner and outer hips and thighs. Option two is working a lot more of the abdominals. And if neither one of those options work for you, just work with option one of the just crawling up and back. So whatever option two you're doing, going up to the front and then to the back of your mat once. Some of you may be able to get it in twice. Woohoo! Good job. All right, so that should get some heat going for those of us that are not in a tropical environment where we're already sweating. All right, now go ahead and we're going to come up to standing. For those of you guys that want a little bit of work coming up, you know, finding your way up, there's many ways. So here's one that gets into some balance. I have my toes curled under, my knees on the ground. I'm just going to use my hands. If you can use without your hands. Come up like this onto just my toes. Then I'm going to try to come up without falling over. So this is staying on my toes, coming up like this, staying on my toes, lifting the hands up, stretch it up, and then finally bringing the heels down. All right. Okay, shake out the legs just a couple of bit. We're going to then take and standing on your left leg, let's bend the right knee, staying on the toes, the right knee, and just open that knee out to the side and then turn it back in. Get a little external and internal rotation in that leg. And again, maybe somewhere between 5 to 8 times. Just allowing this to get some nice lubrication in this joint. And then you're going to switch legs, staying on the toes of your left leg, rotating that knee to the outside, rotating it to the inside. I'm sure there's a good song we could find with this, but I can't think of one right off the bat. Let's twist again, like we did last summer. All right, good. Okay, now, here is where if you have that either can of something that's a little heavier or a bag of beans or something like that, or your resistance band. What we're going to do is we're just going to do some rows. So with this, those of you guys that have bands, Elodie's going to show you from the side. She's going to be stepping on the band. Now she's going to kind of come into a bent knee position with the sit bones going out, and her back is going to stay as much as possible with this nice inward curve of her low back. And then she's going to reach down as far as she can on the straps, and then she's going to start to lift up and down. So these are rows. Those of us that are doing this with something like a brick or something in your hand or a weight, same type of position, but we're just gonna do one arm at a time. And those of you that have some kind of a resistance band, you could also do this one arm at a time. What we're trying to highlight here is these muscles right in this area that sometimes we don't work a whole lot if we don't deliberately do something like this, or we're not doing some physical work out in the garden or something. And especially if we're looking forward with our head forward all the time on our computer, can get a little bit lazy. All right, I'm gonna turn and switch because I've only been doing one arm. Those you guys have only been doing one arm. And again, even if you don't have anything that's heavy, just grabbing onto a book or something like that, just to add a little bit more weight and to work these muscles. And to really take your awareness into the area around your shoulder blades. Can you feel, whichever arm you're doing this with, the muscles around that shoulder blade, drawing the shoulder blade towards your spine as you draw it up and releasing that back as you come back and down. A couple more times if you switch with me. And let's come on up. All right. So these are just some things, again, because there's so many ways in which we can find little breaks during our day to help our body, especially as my job is these days, and as I'm sitting at my laptop a lot. So I'm looking at ways of kind of counterbalancing this. All right, now we're going to move into a couple sun salutations. Our first one is going to be taking the knee down. And for those of you guys that know that sometimes as you come down, it's helpful for you to have a block or a chair or a small coffee table to kind of set your hands down into and help yourself come down. Please have that. And then coming towards the front of your mat. All right, so right here, standing with your feet, maybe hip width apart. Those of you guys that like to stand with your feet together, feel free to do that. We're finding our mountain pose for a moment, Tadasana in Sanskrit. So really root your feet down. And what I want you to do is kind of let your weight roll around your feet. Come around in another direction. And then feel the two sides of your back heel, your big toe mound, your little toe mound, and really root those down. Feel your arches of your feet now lifting up, kind of they're drawing that red light up from the earth. Feel it coming up and connecting again here, Khanda or Dantian. Feel the energy of that coming all the way up in front of the spine, up and through the crown of the head. Let's bring the hands together back in front of the heart. Bowing down and remembering the intention and dedication that you set. Remembering to take care of yourself, to do what's right for your body. As you're ready then, softly opening the eyes and inhaling, bringing the arms up, that same extension of energy through your arms. And on the exhale, softly folding into first forward bend. Allow the knees to bend. Find a resting spot for your hands. I'm using my bricks. You could use your legs, your chair. Allow the crown of your head now to descend down towards the ground. And just nod your head that yes. Shake it no. Remembering you always have choices. Make the right choices for you. Now right here, just for the hamstrings, what I want you to do is I want you to feel the front of your legs and just see if you can keep rooting in your feet, but lightly lift up through your kneecaps just a little bit more. You may feel those sit bones at the base of your pelvis lifting a little bit more towards your ceiling or not. One more breath here. Then on the next inhale, lengthen into a flat spine position. On the exhale, we're going to bend the knees again. Take that right leg back and place the knee down. Right here, you can be having your hands on the bricks or on the ground or starting to come up onto your front leg. In whichever way you're doing it, just make sure that your legs are a comfortable distance apart. I like to have room about the width of my hips and that it feels comfortable in your low back. Now right here, that scissoring action of drawing your front heel back, your back knee forward, engage the abdominals lightly. Remember, Dantian's our power spot. Lifting your energy up through the crown of the head. From there, let your arms extend up if that's comfortable. Take another nice full breath here. Inhale. On the exhale, bring your arms down like a cactus. Inhale here, still nice and tall. On the exhale, you're going to turn towards your left knee. Now here, what I want you to do is just bring your right arm down to the outside of your left knee. Take your left arm. Again, do that internal rotation. Bring it back behind you. And if you can, reach for your right hip. If you can't, just see if you can rest it on your sacrum. Breathe in, lift up through the crown of your head, and on the exhale, allow your collarbones to open away from each other. One more breath. And then gently release your arms, coming back forward. We're going to set the hands down on the ground, bring that other knee back. Now right here, you can make a couple choices. You can do a couple knee push-ups if you want. You can come with me. I'm going to come down and I'm going to try to bring my chest and chin down towards the ground, keeping my knees down. And then I'm going to slide forward onto my abdomen. My legs are extended back behind me. Those of you guys that want to do an up dog here, you can do an up dog. Those of you guys want to come with me, we're just simply going to take 3 breaths. And on the inhale, the upper body will lift with your breath. And on the exhale, it will lower. Now keep your legs active. Press your feet down into the ground as you do this. 2 more breaths. And 1 more. Now on the exhale, we're going to start to push up onto hands and knees and take it back into child's pose. Those of you guys who want to take it right back into down dog or Adho Mukha, feel free. Those of you resting here with me in child's pose for a moment, just take a couple breaths into that back body. Feel your breath filling your back body, whichever position you're in. Those of you in Adho Mukha, find that nice long line of your spine. Good. Those of you guys here with me in our child's pose, we're going to come back up on the hands and knees, and we're going to lift our hips up too. And everybody, we're going to look in between the hands, and we're going to step that right leg forward. Use your brick if you need to. Bring your left knee down. Again, take the moment here to adjust your legs as needed, that they're a comfortable distance apart to activate the front heel drawing back and that back knee dragging forward. So feel that stability. You can stay right here. You don't have to come up. If you want to, hands up onto the knee. Start to engage and feel this energy center here. Imagine that red light still coming, connecting from the earth. And if you want to, inhale and bring the arms up. Good. Feel that energy lifting up through the crown of your head, maybe extending up through your arms. 1 more. And now exhale again, cactus arms. Good. Remember how we did this last time. We're going to inhale here. On the exhale, we're going to start to twist. Now to the right. Good. We're going to bring that left hand down, maybe onto the knee or maybe to the outside of that leg. Right arm's going to start to come back behind, internal rotation, and then reaching around, perhaps for your left hip or maybe just reaching out back behind you. What's comfortable for this arm. Now continue to find that nice long line in front of your spine, but broaden across your collarbones with your next inhale or exhale. 1 more breath. And then on an exhale, start to release back to the front. Good. Using your bricks or your hands on the floor, curl the back toe under and lift up that leg. And we're going to step forward, coming into forward bend. Soften the knees, let the head relax for a moment. Maybe wiggle the hips a little side to side. And then we're going to inhale to come all the way up. If you want, coming up through chair pose like. And then reaching the feet, lift up maybe a light back bend. And exhale, hands to the heart. Good. So that sun salutation with the twist and the work of the arms, again, is producing this nice opening here. You could just simply use that as a nice break in between working if you've been doing a lot of work. We're coming into a second one now. Now this time we're not going to take the knee down. Sorry, I'm going to move my blanket out of the way since I have that blanket. Once again in mountain pose. Rooting down through the feet. Finding that lifting up from the earth, coming through the legs. Finding that energy center with the red ball just below the navel. Feeling the strength and solidity of that coming up through the crown of the head. Bowing, remembering intention and dedication. On the inhale, we're going to bring the arms up. Exhale again, folding forward, hinging at the hips, maybe finding that nice long spine, maybe lightly bending the knees. Inhale into a flat spine position. On the exhale, we're going to step the left leg back. Now with this, taking your hands onto your front knee, this back leg, if you want to play with balance, keep the heel lifted like a crescent pose. If you would prefer, take that heel down so you have more stability. Again, all I want you to do now is we're starting to bring the hands up onto the hips. Is back here around that flat bone at the base of your spine, your sacrum, I want you to feel comfortable. So you may need to widen the legs a little bit, have them maybe hip width apart. Just bend into this front knee. Make sure that that feels comfortable. Again, you may want to have it at a slightly different angle than I do. That's okay. It should be comfortable. Now here, what I want you to do is I want you to find your tailbone and feel as though your tailbone's descending down to the ground. And right where that red light is, you're lifting in and up and trying to zoom that energy up through the crown of your head. Let's bring the arms in with it. Inhaling the arms up. So we're either in Warrior One, Virabhadrasana One, or a crescent pose right here. Taking this couple breaths. Now just notice, remember how I had you notice before when we were warming up, what is the connection between your rib cage and your pubic bone? Is your rib cage really lifting? If so, try to lift a little bit more from that red ball and soften through the front ribs. Is your chin really jacked up? Keep the back of the neck long. Here we go. Now we're going to take and bring the arms into cactus arms. Inhale again here. Exhale, twisting towards that front leg. Hold this for a breath. Can you still feel fairly good evenness between your two legs? Nice tall spine, lifting through the crown of your head, broadening of the collarbones. Inhale back to center. Now we're going to take the arms back behind us. If you can, clasp your hands. If not, just stay with me with extending these arms back and behind. Now what we're going to do this time is we're going to fold forward. We're going to come into what's sometimes called humble warrior. So take an inhale to lift and lengthen your spine. And on the exhale, gently, only coming down as far as is comfortable. Though some of you may be able to bring your body all the way down towards that leg. Clasping the hands or reaching the palms back behind you, possibly lifting those arms up a little bit higher. 1, 2, or 3 more breaths here. Then on the exhale, unwrap your arms and just bring your left arm either down to the ground or onto your brick. Bring your right arm back here onto your right hip. Try to reach your right knee forward and your right hip back. Some of you may want to now, I'm going to lift up my back heel and extend out through my back heel and through the crown of the head. And then we're going to start to just twist to the right if it's comfortable. You can either keep your hand on that right hip or lift it up. In this position, keep hugging the hips together. Can you broaden across the two collarbones? Even in this position, feel your shoulder blades working towards each other. 1 more breath. Beautiful. Exhale to gently unwind. Set the brick off to the side. Set your hands down and step it back either onto your knees or into plank position. All kinds of choices here. You can go through your yoga push-up, up dog or down dog. You can keep your knees down, lower down nice and gently, and simply come up into a little baby cobra. Separate the feet, top of the feet are down or up dog, long spine, tuck the chin, and then on an exhale, either onto the knees and back into child's pose, or up into Adho Mukha, downward facing dog. Either one. Take some nice full breaths here. Feel your arms lengthening, legs lengthening if you're in down dog. Feel your breath in your back body in child's pose. Soften or close your eyes for a moment and just check in with body, breath, mind, emotions. That everything's still all good. We may be working a little bit. All right. And we're simply going to, in the next breath or two, bring that left leg forward or step that left leg forward, whatever position you're starting from. And we're going to start to find our leg position again for having that heel down like a warrior one, or if you want to challenge your balance, keeping that heel lifted the entire time. Again, take a moment to make sure that both your hips are feeling comfortable, the flat bone at the base of your spine and where it joins the hip bones is comfortable, whichever this position is. It might be wider than mine. You might have your legs a little bit closer together. Check that bending this front knee feels okay. Bring it up and down a couple times. Once you have just that right spot, now start to pay attention to your energy body. So the tail is coming down. This red light area is starting to come in and up, and maybe feel that stability coming up through your spine, through the crown of the head. If you want to, raising your arms up as well. Take a couple breaths here. Feel the strength, the connection with the earth, but also maybe your shoulder blades into the upper back as well. All right, now we're going to come and bring the arms into those cactus arms. Inhale here. On the exhale, first a twist towards the left now, your front leg. Breathing in for a moment. Good. One more breath. All right, inhaling back to center. Now here's where we're going to start to take those arms back behind you or clasping them together. So showing you from the side, I'm just simply going to keep my arms out like this. Elodie's clasping her hands together. And we're going to inhale, lengthen, and on the exhale, we're going to start folding forward. Even if you just get to here, that's okay. Those of you that can come all the way down so the torso's over that leg, great. And then right here, work with maybe lifting your arms up a little bit higher. Seeing where you can take your arms to here, broadening across the collarbone in this position. One more breath. Good, then start to release the hands. And again, you may want to find your brick or a chair, or if you can take your right hand down to the ground. And then we're going to start to come into a twist. So you may want to bring that back heel up, lifting it up into the air, reaching out through that heel, out through the crown of the head, and then maybe keeping your left hand on your hip or starting to lift it up and into the air, away from your right hand, down on the ground. Take again, 1, 2, or 3 more breaths here. Feel the broadening across the collarbone, shoulder blades working together. Woohoo! Shoulder Monday. Exhale, start to bring it back on down. Setting the hands out, we're going to just step forward, find your forward bend. You can bend your knees, just release your abdomen onto your thighs and clasp onto your elbows. Let your head hang or your elbows hang, moving them a little side to side if you'd like. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My shoulders, my body. All right, and then gently, we're just going to come down onto the ground. Go ahead and take your hands down, step your feet back, come onto your abdomen. We're going to take our towels and wipe off our sweat here. All right, and as you're here on the belly, what I want you to pay attention to, I'm going to come over here and stand on Elodie so I can kind of point to places on her body. The sacrum, that flat bone at the base of your pelvis, you should feel like that's grounding down into the ground, as if that red condylite is now reaching down through your abdomen into the earth. Your feet may want to be separated a little bit wider than your hips. Some of you are going to feel better with them wide, almost as wide as your mat or wider. Some of you will feel fine with them right in line with your hips, but make sure that place feels really good. Press down with the top of your feet and press down with your pubic bone. All I'm going to have you do is stack your hands underneath your forehead with your right hand on top. Now on your next breath, as you inhale, you're going to keep your legs active and you're going to lift up and you're just going to keep your right hand to your forehead as you lift up, and then you're going to exhale back and down. Switch hands, left hand on top. Inhale up, exhale down. Good, we're going to switch hands one more time. Right hand, so it's like you're making a little salute. Inhale up and down. Switch hands, left hand on top. With your breath, inhale up and exhale back down. Now just rest for a moment, relax your legs. Any wiggles to your hips that you might need. So this is our first bus stop. These are going to be some variations on these. All of these movements are great for activating the muscles in the back of your body. So if that movement in and of itself already felt like it was a good amount of work for your body, just simply stay with that one. I'm going to progress with Elodie because I know she can handle a little bit more. So this next time, what I'm going to have her do is she's going to reach her arms back by her feet. So as she inhales up, she's going to lift her upper body, keep her lower body grounded, pubic bone and feet grounded, and then exhale back and down. Good. Twice more with breath. Inhale up. And exhale back and down. See if you can go up a little bit higher this time. Inhale up. Now, if you can hold for breath, tuck your chin though. Keep reaching through the crown of your head. And exhale, next breath, back down. Make a resting spot, a pillow for your head. And again, wiggle your hips or lift and bend your knees and move your heels side to side if you're starting to feel like you've got tension in your low back. Good. So that's another bus stop. You may have felt you were getting some more work, and you were getting more work in that one, even down into the muscles in the lower part of your back. This one is going to be for the legs. So again, be mindful of whether this is right for you or not. For some of you, it may be helpful. Imagine I'm lying on the floor, to take your hands and to put them kind of in between. Here's my hip bones. In between your hip bones and your pubic bone as you're lying on the floor. That will provide a little bit of pillow and may make it more comfortable. Some of you know you don't need that, and you might be able to take your arms out in front of you as if you were a superwoman or superman. Reaching the arms out, and you're going to plant your palms down on the ground. You will likely lift your head lightly, but not too much. You're going to keep looking down at the ground. Ground into that pubic bone, and on your next inhale, activating your legs, you're going to start to lift your legs off the ground. And exhale them back and down. Doing this 3 times. Inhale up. Gluteals working. Exhaling back and down, moving at the pace of your breath. One more time. Inhaling up. And exhaling back and down. And again, if you want to rest, put your hands back under your forehead. And again, if you want to wiggle the legs a little side to side. Some of you are at this point, your back or your body is saying, okay, that's enough of this movement. All I'm going to tell you is go ahead and take yourself back into a child's pose at this point. If you can do one more of these, we're going to go into full salabhasana or locust pose. And this is where we lift both the arms and the legs. If you want to do one more, but you don't want to do the full one, please do one of the earlier variations. At any time, you can ground down the pubic bone, inhale, lifting up through the arms and the legs, feel your whole back body working, holding for maybe 3 to 5 breaths. When you are done with that, gently exhale and bring your body back and down. You can make that little pillow and again, wiggle your hips. Good. Everybody, we're going to come back and into child's pose. So hands under the shoulders. Go ahead and bring yourself back towards child's pose if that's a comfortable pose. If that's not a comfortable pose, just simply find a light and easy forward bend, possibly sitting on your chair or cross-legged. And all I want you to do now is, as you breathe, is just really fill this area in between your shoulder blades. Really fill your low back area. Feel your breath as if your whole back body is one big area that can be filled with air. And just let your breath really fill that area. Ah, thank you, my back body. All right, as you're ready, just contemplate and make sure that you're feeling okay. When you're ready, go ahead and gently and mindfully sit up. And what we're going to do is we're going to do one thing here. We're going to have you come over onto your back, but I want you to see the options for a moment. Is we're going to do just a light restorative back bend. So if you happen to have a blanket, you could take your blanket and you could just make maybe just a light size about that thick. You could even fold, if you have these kind of blankets, you can fold them into 3s if you want something that's a little lower. What I'm going to suggest is an option, and I'm going to have you lie down sideways, Elodie, so they can see this for just a moment. And your shoulder blades are going to be just the bottom tips here. Your shoulders are going to be here in your head there. So let me give you something for your head on this. All right. So just so you can see what this is going to look like, I'm going to have Elodie lie down here. So you can see kind of where this blanket is going to be. The tops of your shoulders, go ahead and come farther this way. We want the tops of your shoulders off of the blanket. No, towards me.
Okay.
Like that. Yep. That's it. So you see how where the blanket is at is the tops of her shoulders are coming down beyond the blanket. And what you may have is you may have a pillow or something else if you don't have blankets that you can use. What this should feel like is it's going to create a little doming and an opening. It's going to support the bottom parts of the shoulder blades and a little bit of the rest of your rib cage. And if you wanted to, you could take your arms out to the side if that's more comfortable. You can bend your knees like you see Elodie doing. You could, if you've got another cushion, put it underneath the knees. Or you may find the legs out straight is more comfortable for you. Any or all of those are options. It's a light back bend that we're going to restore into. And we're going to stay here for about 2 minutes here. So finding the supports that you need, finding a position that's right and comfortable for your body. I'm just going to check in with everyone here. Take a quick look. All right. Looks like everyone's coming down. So now, all I want you to do is, now we're taking your breath into the back body a minute ago. Now I want you to really feel your breath in your front body. Find and feel that you're filling the front of your body from the front of your thighs, your pelvis, your abdomen, up and into your chest and collarbones. And just feel each breath as if you're filling like this big old large container with your breath, starting down in the lower part of your belly. Bring it all the way up to your collarbones on your inhale. And on your exhale, just simply allow the breath to empty out. Each new breath is drawing in fresh energy, vitality. Every exhale is getting rid of tiredness, leftover tension from the work that you did. Now in the next few breaths, really just focus on bringing your breath up into the upper part of your chest, really trying to feel your collarbones expanding with every inhale. Allow yourself to feel expansion, opening, counterbalancing those things that may have made us feel like we needed to guard ourselves. We can be safe. We can be loving to ourselves. Even though we may be still sequestered in our houses right now, feel your ability to sense all of the energy of the earth around you, springtime, all of the energy that you have for yourself to be healthy so that you can then bring that out to others in your life, bringing it out into the world. It's time to blossom. That's what nature's telling us. All right, in the next couple breaths, just go ahead and start to bring your knees up and in. And you're just simply going to allow yourself to come over onto the side that's most comfortable and just use your arms to lightly lift up. Take that blanket or support out from underneath your body and then go ahead and lie back down on your mat. From lying back down and on your mat, we're going to go into a reclined twist. So my favorite way to do this is to draw my knees up and into my body while I'm on my back, take my arms out to the side in a T position, and then lower my legs over to the left. You may have a one that you want to do that's a little bit different. If you're coming with me, as you bring your legs over to the left, what you may find is either they may not want to go all the way down, then grab onto your blanket or a block and put it underneath your legs. Your legs may feel more comfortable by having a blanket or a block in between the two of them. Then do that. If your right arm isn't comfortable and it doesn't want to go down to the ground, bend your elbow and just put your hand on your rib cage. Allow yourself to find how you can relax into this twist. It should be relaxing. We're going to stay here for probably about a more minute. So once you have yourself into the position of this twist, I want you to breathe now into your abdomen. Take a nice full breath there and kind of soften your jaw and do a nice full sigh on your exhale. You can do that as many times as you want. At least once will kind of help you check in and make sure that you're relaxing. Feel your breath moving into your right hip. Let your right hip relax with a nice exhale. Your right leg relax. The right side of your low back relaxing. Again, feeling perhaps the shift in what's happened in your upper body and in your back body. Just breathe into it. Good stuff. Take about 3 more breaths here. And just know that you can stay longer on this side. There's no rush if you need to let it relax a little bit more. For those of you that are ready to move to the other side after those 3 breaths, just simply, I can't speak anymore. Use a simple inhale to bring your knees back up to center. And you're going to exhale them over to the other side. Again, find any supports that may help your body to relax into this side. You can put a block or a blanket underneath your legs, in between your two legs. You can use your hand on that top knee to rest on your top leg. Your left arm, if it doesn't easily come down to the ground now, bend that elbow and let your hand just simply rest on your rib cage. Taking again those nice full breaths, breathing in, filling the abdomen, softening the jaw. A nice sigh on the exhale. You may want to do that again a couple more times to let yourself feel the sense of relaxation throughout all of your body. The low back, the left hip. Making sure especially that your jaw is relaxed. Tongue is starting to relax down inside of the mouth. Eyes are softening. Feeling that nice opening perhaps that you've gotten across the collarbones. Starting off our week with openness, presence, compassion for self, so that we can bring this out into the world. Again, finding the length of time that's right for you to stay here. Whenever it is that it feels ready for you to move out of that, just again, use an inhale to come on back up to center. We're going to make our way into either just drawing your knees into your body and hugging them in, or happy baby, if you know that. You might want to open the knees a little bit, draw them down towards the armpits. The feet could be raised up towards the ceiling or not. And just whatever it is that you're doing, finding maybe a little rock and roll side to side, something that's going to massage your back a little bit, especially around the low back sacral area. Then feel that massaging up around your shoulder blades, upper back area, where we did some nice work. Thanking all of your back body for all it did for you today. Thank you, my back body. You're awesome. Even though I don't look at you much in the mirror, you're awesome. Good. Now, all I want you to do is I want you to just simply ask yourself if there's anything else that you would like to do before we get ready to go into our corpse pose. If there's any other movements that your body wants, if it wants to stay here in this reclined kind of child's pose with your legs drawn in for another few breaths, if you want to do anything like a short little bridge pose, but just ask if there's anything else your back body would like you to do. And if so, do it. And then we're going to start to make our way into corpse pose or shavasana. You're very welcome, Grace. See that somebody has to leave. So for the rest of you, we're coming into one of the most important parts of this practice. So it's very important for you to be comfortable. I want you to find and feel that you have every support you need. You want a blanket or a pillow underneath your head, please put it there. If you'd like to have bolsters, you see Elodie using underneath your legs, or roll up a blanket or a pillow underneath there, do so. You want to have the supports that you can truly relax into this. And we're going to be here for about 10 minutes. So I want you to find this really comfortable position. You are worth all of the effort to find just exactly the right position. So as you're getting settled in, I want you to check and just maybe wiggle a little bit that your legs are comfy. They could be separated from each other. They could be off the sides of your mats, whatever it is that's comfortable. And just make sure that they feel pretty darn secure in where they're at and that you're really happy with that position. Your sacrum should feel snuggled in. It's now starting to connect down through the ground. This is the back area where we're going to connect down and find that rooting into the earth. Your upper back and shoulder blades feel completely comfortable. They're nicely snuggled down and your arms are a comfortable distance away from your body. Any last wiggles in the shoulder blades, the arms. Feel the back of your head where it's resting on your blanket or on the ground, and that it's in a completely comfortable position, maybe moving your head just slightly side to side. Now we're in stillness. Now just simply allow your breath to first come in to your forehead, your eyes, your face, your jaw. With some nice deep and full exhales. Soften your brain in the back of your head. Soften the muscles of your forehead, around your eyes. Soften and relax your jaw. Feel your tongue soften inside of your mouth. Your cheeks, lips softening. Just breathe into all of your head and say silently to yourself, all of my head relax. Now bring your awareness and breath into your throat and neck. Feel your throat soften, releasing the need for any naming of things. Feel the back of your neck relaxing. Take a deep breath into your throat and neck and say, throat and neck, relax. Bring your breath and awareness into your shoulders, all the way down your arms to your hands. Softening the muscles of hands, arms, shoulders. Take a nice full breath into shoulders and arms and say silently to yourself, shoulders and arms, relax. Now breathing into your upper back and chest. Just awareness of the feeling of the muscles of the front body softening, the muscles of the back body softening, your spine releasing into the earth. And a nice full breath into the chest and upper back, saying silently, chest and upper breath, back, relax. Now breathing into your low back and abdomen. Feeling a softness in the abdomen, relaxing into a softness in the back body. Breathing into your lower part of your torso and silently saying, abdomen and low back, relax. Bring your breath now into your pelvis. Feeling the front of your pelvis softening, the back of your pelvis softening down into the ground, sacrum, secure. Saying silently, pelvis, relax. Now send your breath all the way down through your hips, thighs, calves, and feet. Feeling all the muscles of those wonderful legs softening down. And saying silently to yourself, legs and feet, relax. All of your body now deepening, deepening, deepening into relaxation. Allowing your awareness to simply find its resting spot into your heart. And just simply observe in the next minutes as your relaxation deepens, how your body and your breath absorb the relaxation. Sva Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Demahi Dio Yona Prachodayat. Now take your time. Find the feeling first of your body on the earth again. Recognize what happened as a result of staying in stillness and awareness during this time. When you're ready to start to reconnect with your body again, feeling the breath in your abdomen and gently allowing movement to come into fingers and toes. Maybe doing a nice full stretch of your body and gradually draw your knees up and in and coming over onto the side that's the most comfortable for you. Take some breaths there on your side. Allow yourself to have a gentle transition, then eventually into a seated position. We're going to sit up and do a little bit of breath work and meditation, probably somewhere between 8 to 10 minutes. So find a comfortable seat. If you'd prefer to sit in a chair, gently bring yourself up into sitting in a chair. If you're comfortable sitting with some supports and have them handy, bring over and use the supports to keep your spine nice and tall. But so it doesn't take a lot of effort to be in an upright position. Once you find your sitting position that you're going to be comfortable in, again, either soften your gaze or close your eyes. And just at the beginning here of our breathwork and meditation practice, check in and see, how is my body feeling right now? How does my natural breath feel within me? How is my mind doing? My emotions? We want to keep a check on this so that you can see what result happens from these practices. It's going to be unique to you. I can't tell you exactly what will be your experience. Once you've done those check-ins, then just simply pay attention to your natural pattern of breath here for a moment. Your natural inhale and exhale. And just noticing its natural length. Getting curious about the length of your inhale and exhale. Not without attempting to change it at all yet, just simply your breath. Now we are going to work with the volume of your breath just for a moment here. If at any time this feels uncomfortable, just simply release what I'm telling you to do and come back to your natural breath. Let it stabilize. Right now I want you to imagine as though we're kind of becoming this three-dimensional being, which we are. And that as you inhale, you're trying to fill both the front and the back of your body. And so that as you breathe in, you can feel your belly, but also your back expanding. And as you exhale, it kind of comes back into its shape. Now, as you do this, as you continue this breathing in and out and feeling like it's a 3D breath, just see if perhaps you can fill yourself with a little bit bigger breath than your natural breath, and then allow that to empty back out. And see if that's sustainable. Can you continue to do that? Breathing in just a little bit more volume. Feeling your front and back body expand. And then your exhale just naturally releases all of that air back and out. As you continue this, finding sustainability with a little bit bigger air, Imagining that you're filling the lower part of your lungs first, and then it gradually fills up into your upper lungs. And your exhale, the breath naturally all goes back and out. Continue with these nice full inhales, filling all of the lungs, maybe a little bit more than you normally do, and exhaling that breath all the way out. Now, staying with this pattern, I want you to imagine that your breath that you breathe in through your nostrils starts way out, away from your body at 2 points and comes in towards both of your nostrils, enters both of your nostrils, and goes up behind your eyebrow center to the center of your brain. And then it exhales from there back and out and separates out into both of those nostrils and goes back and out. Just feel the two streams of breath coming in from a ways away, filling your lungs, connecting with that point in the center of your brain. And the exhale coming from that point at the center of your brain, back and out through both of your nostrils. Now from this pattern, we're going to begin mental alternate nostril breathing. So on your next breath in, just simply using your mind, imagine that your breath is only going to come in through your left nostril up to that center part of your brain. Your exhale will come from the center part of your brain and out through your right nostril. When you're ready to breathe back in, it comes from that place out in the distance, only through your right nostril up to the center of your brain, and then exhales out through the left. So with your exhale, you switch. Inhaling the center of the brain, exhaling that long extended breath back and out through the other nostril to a point off in the distance. You inhale back in through that same nostril, coming up, drawing it into the center of the brain. Then you exhale from the center of the brain out through the other nostril, off and into the distance. Continue this pattern. Mental alternate nostril breathing, called in Sanskrit Anuloma Viloma. Even if you're not sure your body's doing this, just imagine drawing the breath in through one nostril, releasing it back and out through the other nostril. And the next time that you exhale out through your left nostril, just release this pattern and go back to your natural breath. And as you return back to your natural breath, just notice its volume, its length, its smoothness. Has this simple practice changed your natural breath at all? Notice how your body feels, how your mind's doing, and any emotions that are present. Once you've done your observations, I want you once again to feel your body connecting with the earth. Feel the base of your body as you're sitting. And remember what we started off with the practice. That sense that on an inhale, you're drawing a column of red, soft red light up from the earth to that place just about a couple finger widths below your navel, in front of your spine, where there's a red circle there, or bindu. Your exhale takes that red column of light back from that center of your body down and into the earth. Inhaling, red column of light, earth energy up into your energy center between your pubic bone and navel, just in front of the spine. Exhaling from that red circle of energy there, back and down into the earth. Bringing stability, vitality, groundedness up and into the center. And from this center of yours, sending your energy back and down to connect with the earth. Feeling this arising with your inhale, descending back and down with your exhale. 3 more breaths. And on that last and third exhale, feel that red light connecting yourself way down into the center of the earth. Rooted, grounded and centered, stable and supported. Now just feel right now the connection from the stability down there. Come up through the front of the spine and feel the heart. Just allow yourself for a moment to see how this energy center is feeling. With the work that we did physically of our body, does this center feel now connected with the stability of your lower center? As you breathe from the earth up into the red bindu and up and into the heart, how does your heart feel right now? Exhaling back and down from the heart, down through that red center, down into the earth. Inhaling from the earth, up and into the heart. Letting compassion be grounded, centered, as you exhale back and down into the earth. 1 more breath. Now in the next 3 breaths, bring your breath from the earth all the way up into the center of the brain, coming through these other centers and connecting now with the wisdom of the mind. Exhaling, wisdom collects compassion, stability, and grounds. From the earth, coming up through our stability, our compassion, joining with the wisdom of the brain. Exhaling, bringing it back and down into the earth. 1 more breath. Simply release the visualization. Turn your palms to face upward and join the thumbs and index fingers together. And check and see how you're feeling now within your breath, your body, your mind, your energy. May we bring stability, compassion, and wisdom into your week. As you're ready, then joining your hands together and bringing them to your heart. vowing to honor all you are and all you experience. We'll close our practice together as we began with that chant of Om, allowing the resonance of Ah to be in that red lower center, the U to come up to the heart, and the to resonate in the brain before the silence arises up beyond. Exhaling together and inhaling. Namaste. Thank you all for your practice. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Pepper and Daphne, who barked her way down here.